I'll tell a story that it's not about my clinical work. It's a wonderful story. I hope I'm doing justice to the story. Forgot the name of the person. The person I'm talking about was the commander-in-chief of the Israeli Air Force. And in an interview that I remember listening some time ago, he tells the following story. His father survives the Holocaust in Hungary. And comes to Israel as the sole survivor of a large family. He goes to the army, goes to the Air Force. He knows that his father wanted him to do it, but his father never told him that. There's not been a conversation about it or about his Holocaust experience. What happens is, he's already the chief of the Israeli Air Force, and the president of Israel, from time to time he gets invitation to attend all sorts of important meetings. And often he asks his secretary to give an excuse on his behalf, and he doesn't turn up. One day he gets an invitation to the president's place to meet the president or prime minister of Hungary. And he tells the secretary, you know what, could you please write and say that I'm too busy to come? 2 weeks later, he gets another letter said that you should come on such a time, dressed like that, the dinner starts at this time, etc. So he says to her, but didn't I tell you to make an excuse that I'm not coming? And she says, I thought it wasn't a good idea, so I didn't do it. I love that part of the story too. There is a secretary who decides for the chief of the Air Force. And he goes and he says to his father, Dad, I want you to come to Jerusalem, to the president's place, to meet the president of Hungary. Father agrees. On the way to Jerusalem, his father turns to him and says, do you know what's happening here now? And the son says, yeah, of course, we are going to Jerusalem, we are going to meet the president, and then we go home. And the father says to him, no. I am the only person from my family who survived the war. Who would have thought that one day I'll be invited with my son to meet the president of Hungary, and my son would be the chief of the Israeli Air Force. And the father says to him, and you know what? When we meet the president, I'll tell him that he owes me an apology. And he asks him, and he gives it to him. But the point of the story is that this son says his father did not talk to him about the Holocaust, did not tell him about what he needed or expected of him. He always knew without a conversation. And that is typical of most.